Okay, so begins the charcoal grill turkey extravaganza. So here's the bird in a bag. It's a 15.8, so 16-ish pound bird, and this is the brine bag. The brine, brines are brines. I sound like Alton Brown. Kosher salt, peppercorn, gallon of apple cider vinegar, gallon of cold distilled water. There's oranges, big lemons. It's not about the brine. I mean, it's about the brine, but I don't want to go into the brine. As much as I don't want to say this as a guy, just look up a great brine on Pinterest or YouTube and brine it up, brine it down, brine it to the left or right. Big thing is what you want to do, just make sure when you brine it, a minimum of 48 hours. So hang tight, and we're going to get this bad boy on the grill shortly. Okay, well, the weather didn't hold out. We got a little bit of sleeting going on. All right, so we have begun. We got coals on one side, coals on the other. This is the indirect heat method. We slathered up our bird with a butter slash paprika slash salt, pepper, whatever I found. I just made a big butter mix, put on a pair of gloves, and just slathered the whole bird up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cover her up and let it sit, and both vents are open on our grill, and in about an hour we're gonna add some apple chips to both sides, so we'll see you then. Alright, a little over an hour, and by the way, it's snowing, coming down like the day after tomorrow. Alright, so definitely coming along nicely, browning up. Now, if you noticed, I've actually filled the cavity with the large oranges and lemons and everything that was in my brine, and just going to keep it in there and just let it do its stuff. Take it down. Do your stuff. All of the juices are nicely accumulating in there from the butter, whatever was left over the brine. So what you can do is you can actually take your baster, grab some of that, and put it on the top. Now, we still got a lot of good heat going on here, but in a little bit, what I'll actually do is I'll actually add some raw unlit briquettes to each side and keep it going. So we'll check back in a little bit. We're doing good. Alright, so we're at about 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I got some wood chips that are a little damp. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a few to each side of the coals. Now, when they're damp, what it basically does is it kind of insinuates them to smolder a little bit. So it'll give it a nice rich smoke that'll basically envelop the whole bird. And that's what we want. And definitely looking like a pristine bird there. Looking good. So we'll check back in a little bit. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Alright, we are pretty much done here. Just did the internal temperature with the probe thermometer, and we're looking, I'm at about 175 degrees. I definitely had a lot of heat going on. A little blackened on the legs, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood. You want to be anywhere from 165 to 170 for the internal temperature of the bird. So that's pretty much the whole cooking process, and we'll come right back with the carving process. Okay, the finished product. Ta-da. So the ratio seems to be about, for every 4.5 pounds, you're looking at about 1 hour on the grill. So she was on the grill for a total of 3 hours and 22 minutes. And really browned up nicely. And juicy, nice smoked flavor from the chips. So we're going to carve this up and dig in. Happy Thanksgiving.